Okay, so the 2-week tradition that is the W pay-per-view has continued and Vengeance is done. So let's go through real quick on the notes that I've got. Your opening match was a Swagler versus Air Boom. Ironically, Ziggler was in the tag match, as well as defending his U.S. Championship. And of course, Ziggler therefore takes both finishers, Trouble in Paradise and a 450. And then it goes right away into this, you guessed it, his U.S. title defense against Zack Ryder. Thanks to outside interference by Swagger, Ziggler retains his title. So he loses his shot at the tag belts, however does not drop his singles belt to an incredibly hot Zack Ryder. Christian and Sheamus had another really good, hard-fought contest with, of course, Sheamus coming out on top, which is what he should do against Christian. Beth Phoenix took on Eve Torres, and like in most cases, you don't want the belt to change hands that fast, so of course Beth Phoenix retains in actually pretty decent match, from a Diva standpoint. The Cody Rhodes-Randy Orton feud continued. And I'll be honest, this one's it's a good filler feud for Rhodes. And it's also a good thing to do to keep Orton kind of busy. With most people, once you leave the main event title picture, you kind of get stuck in a quagmire. And of course, Orton, as he should, defeats Cody Rhodes in this. Rhodes has done a pretty good job up to this point in time, making Orton look pretty foolish, but of course at a pay-per-view, Orton gets a much-needed victory at a pay-per-view. Of course, now we're down to essentially like the triple main event. For those of you who picked Kevin Nash gets involved in the Triple H, CM Punk, Awesome Truth match, congratulations, you get those additional points in your winners column. Yes, Kevin Nash got involved and attacked Triple H, which therefore led to a small double team on CM Punk with a combination GTS reversed into a facebuster skull-crushing finale, and Awesome Truth picking up the victory there. So I guess this is going to lead to Triple H versus Kevin Nash 9 or 8? I don't know. But I will say this. They've done a really good job so far this year of playing the internet. When Nash was fired, and then he started working on other things, he started, bashing the E on his Twitter account, it really made it seem like he was legitimately fired. Even though if you're fired on TV and then fired the next day, it kind of seems kind of bizarre. Same thing with, Miz and Truth. So pretty solid job with the way that storyline's been going. And it's good that they're doing something with CM Punk to keep him kind of out of the title picture for the time being. Mark Henry and The Big Show. Nice, stiff, brutal match you expect from these two guys. And it ends with Mark Henry superplexing The Big Show and destroying the ring. Again, a very, very impressive spot. It was also impressive when we saw Brock Lesnar do it many years ago. Of course, people who are watching wrestling now might not have recalled that match on, SmackDown where Brock Lesnar superplexed The Big Show and destroyed the ring. So first we went to a no contest. So now with the ring partially destroyed, you then go into the last man standing match between Alberto Del Rio and John Cena. This was one of your just insane, both men came up looking like superheroes sort of brawling match, which you expect from John Cena to pull out a last man standing match. Ironically, that's like his match. Like last man standing, I quit other matches that John Cena has almost never ever lost. And again, if you thought this match would have a run-in by Awesome Truth to cost John Cena the belt and allow Del Rio to win his first last man standing, just like he won his first triple threat Hell in a Cell match. So in this one, absolutely zero titles changed hands, and ironically, most people picked John Cena to win because, let's face it, Del Rio won the title for the Mexican Tour. If Mexican Tour was over, why not toss the belt back on Cena? So, Del Rio retained, Phoenix retained, Ziggler retained, Air Boom retained, Henry retained. Actually, if you had like the IC title being defended on this, it would have been Night of Champions.